Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, there is important news you need to know, and it is this. Hillary Clinton's email investigation apparently is being reopened. According to the chairman of the House Government Reform and Oversight Committee, Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz, this tweet from Jason in the House, and I'll read it and you can read along with me. FBI director just informed me the FBI has learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation. Case reopened. So that is major news we will continue to follow on this October 28th, 2016. On this day in history, October 28th, 1775, the British issue a proclamation forbidding residents from leaving the city of Boston. On this date in 1886, President Grover Cleveland dedicates the Statue of Liberty. And on this day in 1919, Congress enforces prohibition by passing the Volstead Act. The Volstead Act was passed over President Woodrow Wilson's veto. It provided for the enforcement of the 18th Amendment to the Constitution, also known as the Prohibition Amendment. Despite large-scale efforts by law enforcement agencies, the Volstead Act failed to prevent the widespread distribution of alcoholic beverages. It would not be until 1933 that the 21st Amendment was passed and ratified, repealing prohibition. And that is the subject of our American moment.
It was intended to take the roar out of America's roaring 20s, but instead its passage divided the nation and began an era of bootleggers, speakeasies, and rum-running gangsters. When ratified in 1919, the 18th Amendment to the Constitution outlawed the manufacturing, transportation, and sale of intoxicating liquors. Consequently, organized crime was quick to step up and quench the thirst of an eager nation. The Volstead Act gave federal agencies the legal authority to enforce prohibition, but with an average of only 30 enforcement agents per state, the illegal liquor flowed freely. By 1925, in New York City alone, authorities estimated over 100,000 illegal bars were thriving, with customers consisting of friends, neighbors, and lawmakers alike. Still, some law enforcement became famous fighting the booze trade. One was Elliot Ness. As a top agent of the Bureau of Prohibition, Ness led a team of men known as the Untouchables. Tough and incorruptible, they brought down Chicago bootlegger and mobster Al Capone. But bowing to public pressure, in his 1932 presidential campaign, Franklin Roosevelt endorsed the repeal of prohibition. It was later reported, with the Depression in full swing and national morale at rock bottom, then President Roosevelt remarked, "I think we could all do with a beer." With the passage of the 21st Amendment on December 5, 1933, prohibition was officially repealed, making the 18th Amendment the only amendment in the U.S. Constitution repealed by the passage of another. Still, even with the repeal of prohibition, many states chose to remain dry, the longest running of which was Mississippi, who didn't repeal their self-imposed prohibition until 1966. For Newsmax TV, I'm Bill Curtis, and this is an American Moment.
And if you were to label what's upcoming right now, this might be called Trump on the Stump. Here's Donald Trump from yesterday afternoon as he spoke to a huge crowd in Toledo, Ohio.
We want to make America great again, folks. Very simple. 75% of the American people think our country is on the wrong track. Who are the other 25, just out of curiosity? Who are the 25%? We're going to fix it, and we're going to get our country back on the right track. And now we're down to one person who's got low energy, very low energy. She goes to sleep. So look, here's the story, folks. Here's the story. Who is more low energy? Bill O'Reilly just asked me. I just did Bill O'Reilly. He's on tonight. He said, who's more low energy, Jeb Bush or Hillary Clinton? He just asked me that guy. What's the answer? Who? Huh? Who's more low energy? I don't know. Hey, and you know what I say? Doesn't matter. Hillary Clinton wants to raise taxes on small businesses up to 45%. What a difference. You know, what a difference this is. And just thinking to myself right now, we should just cancel the election and just give it to Trump, right? What are we even having it for? What are we having it for? Her policies are so bad. Boy, do we have a big difference. The past 16 years has laid off and moved at least 900 jobs to Mexico. See, now with me, they wouldn't be able to leave. Because whatever the hell they make, when they go to Mexico and they make their product and they want to send it back over the border, and they leave us with closed plants and unemployment, and Mexico gets the cash, the employment, the factories, everything. What happens is they make their product, they want to send it across. I say, no, thank you. It's a 35% tax to get your product, right? So when we win, we are going to Washington, D.C., and we are going to drain the swamp. You know, that phrase started about a week ago, and I thought it was terrible. I didn't like it at all. I said, I don't know. I just don't like it. And now it's become one of the hottest phrases anywhere in the world, and I'm saying, I like it. That's like, did you ever see the great singers, Frank Sinatra? Some of his greatest hits, he didn't like them. But at the end, he liked them very much, right? It's what happened with Drain the Swamp. It's a great phrase, but it's true. The people like it, that's much more important. Just imagine what our country could accomplish if we started working together as one people, under one God, saluting one American flag. Think about that. Once again, we will have a government of, by, and for the people.
Donald Trump yesterday in Toledo, Ohio. Now, a couple of minutes remain. Time for two phone calls. First, to Prattville, Alabama for Ken. Hi, Ken.
Hey, JD, thanks so much for a good news show. And I might be a little hoarse because after he said drain the swamp, I was cheering loudly.
Very good. What's on your mind?
Well, I ran for Senate District 30 in 2010 against Brian Taylor for state senate, and I lost. And I just wanted to report for the record that Hillary and her friends didn't come to me and offer me $400,000.
Yeah, that's leading to the reopening of the investigation, as we saw on the Twitter account. Ken, want to salute you for having the guts to run for public office. A lot of people complain, very few people stand up to run. So,
hey, I got 18% of the vote for the first time try. I thought it was all right.
That's right. Don't be discouraged.
I got one other thing I want to say.
Very quickly. I got to get some. Go ahead, very quickly.
I'm glad you wiped the smile off of that Democrat's face, and I'll be real happy to see us wipe the smile off of Hillary Clinton's face.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Ken. Now to Naples, Florida for Barry. Barry, you got 30 seconds. Make them count.
Good afternoon, Mr. Haywood. And my thing is that I don't understand why it's taken the FBI so long with this reopening of this case when we had generals that went to jail for less than what she has done, and yet nothing is being done by the American public to push the FBI to get off their duff and get their job
Well, the
done.
good news is now, Barry, the case has been reopened, but understand if it involves Mr. Obama now, he's going to try to claim executive privilege. Barry, thanks for the call. Call us again. To that point, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on Newsmax Prime, we'll talk about the reopening of the investigation. Among our guests, Dick Morris, John Zogby, plus Andrea Kaye and Jeff Crower. Lots to talk about. We'll see you tonight at 8 Eastern. Till then, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.